Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and welcome to my latest Decksperiment, where I take a crazy, interesting, expiring, good idea for a deck and try to build that deck live right here on the spot using that inspiration. And this time around, this is week 1 of the One Night in Karazhan adventure, and the Mage card Firelands Portal has inspired me to try to build a competitive deck around that card. Now, obviously, Firelands Portal is good in Arena, if you've ever loaded up an Arena match since the adventure hit, because everybody's playing Mage, and this card is common, so it's somewhat popular, and everybody's picking it right now because it's new, but it's also very good in Arena just because it's a lot of value bundled into a single card. The question for me is, how good is this card in Constructed play? Does it have that same level of power in Constructed when you can do other things that are more synergized and more consistent and coherent and cohesive in a constructed deck? Arena, you want every card to have some big major impact on its own, do something cool. Constructed is more about fitting cards together, and I think Firelands Portal is probably more the Arena style of just doing something on its own, and less about synergizing with other pieces of your deck. But that said, I still want to make this card work in the Constructed and see if it can, and I've been thinking about what kind of deck might fit a card like Firelands Portal and Constructed, and some things come to mind. First is a Reno style Mage. That's a very late game control style deck that you want all the cards to do something, almost like Arena in a way. They don't have to synergize all that well. It's just about making every turn count, and I think Firelands Portal fits that style very well, but you only get to run one Firelands Portal in a Reno deck, and that's kind of boring and sort of predictable. So I want to see if I can't make Firelands Portal actually fit into a Tempo Mage deck. Now, most Tempo Mage decks are pretty aggressive these days. They have very low curves, and they focus on the tempo of the early game board. But there are some Tempo Mage decks throughout history that have been a little bit slower. They've ran cards like Ronin and Archmage Antonidas, and have some late game threats as well. And this is the kind of card that I could see fitting into that realm of Mage. So less about early game pressure and big plays on turns 3, 4, and 5, and more about really extracting value out of your cards in the late game with Firelands Portal, Yogg-Saron, some cards like that. That said, I don't know exactly what the list is looking like. This is a Decksperiment, right? So I want to build the list now. But that said, I know I want at least 2 Firelands Portals. I don't think I want any of the other Karazhan cards, although Arcane Anomaly could fit in a deck like this, I guess, now that I think about it. Since this is less about early aggression and more about controlling your opponent through the first part of the game, this is a sort of Mana Worm corollary. Mana Worm is more aggressive, this one's a little bit more defensive in nature, but I think I'd still just prefer the Mana Worms because they still trade better and control the board pretty well with 3 health on their own. So I don't think we need any of these other Karazhan cards. There might be more in future wings of Karazhan that haven't been released yet, but right now, this is what we've got to work with. So we'll go ahead and switch back over to standard cards and see what other pieces we think fit into this deck, right? So we do want some early game, obviously. You can't just have all late game stuff. So let's go through and grab sort of the Tempo Mage staples, right? I think we want Arcane Blast, I think we want Mana Worm, Cult Sorcerer, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Frost Bolts. We need Flame Wakers for sure. Arcane Intellect for draw, Forgotten Torch. Seems like we've added a lot of cards already, so we'll see what's left. We want Fireballs. I think we want Water Alleys. We probably want Ethereal Conjurers. And Faceless Summoners actually fit in this deck a little bit. Archmage Antonidas, Flame Strikes. I kind of want to run a Ronin. I know we're at 30 cards already. So clearly, this is part of the deck building process, adding everything you want and then removing cards until it fits. I actually wish that Blizzard let you add like 35, 40 cards and then you could pull the list back down, because it's kind of hard to manage here. So we definitely need a Yogg. So what do we cut first, right? What pieces can we do without right now? I think Cult Sorcerer, Arcane Blast is pretty important, but those do come to mind. Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's certainly a very high tempo card for a Tempo Mage. It makes a lot of sense with stuff like Flame Waker, but I think we might be less reliant on going off with Flame Waker in this deck, and less reliant on cost reductions to keep up in the early games, I'm almost thinking cutting a Sorcerer's Apprentice makes sense. I'd rather have like the 4 damage Arcane Blast than the cheaper Arcane Blast, because we're not trying to overwhelm as far as mana is concerned. We're fine with the game running a little longer. We have some value in the late game, so we don't have to just overwhelm and rush. So cutting a Sorcerer's Apprentice doesn't feel quite as bad as it otherwise might. But the rest of these cards all actually look pretty good. I'm already feeling like we're getting close, right? I don't think we need Pyroblast. That's kind of silly. Just extra damage. Faceless Summoner, it fits in this deck because we want like good minions, but I don't know. Firelands Portal kind of does the same thing almost. It summons us a mid-rangey minion. So I'm going to cut the Faceless Summoners because I really want something like a Kabbalist Tome. We want more spells, certainly, for Yogg-Saron. This is also just a lot of value, just a lot of stuff that summons. But I also think I want... We got the Flame Strikes, but do we want like a Polymorph for single target removal? At least one Polymorph. We certainly want the golden one if we want any. I think we do, just to deal with some threats that get out of hand. Since this is a game that wants to... a deck that wants to play into the late game, Polymorph for removal makes some sense. We definitely don't need like Mirror Image. Arcane Missiles are great in Tempo Mage usually, but maybe just a little too weak for this particular curve of deck. 7 drops that are 7+. That feels like too many. That feels like too many. I don't think we need Ronin. He's really good with Archmage, but God, do we even need Archmage? Like, we're not going to have cheap spells that many. Arcane Blast, Frostbolts. I don't know that Archmage is ever going to go off. Maybe we actually just cut the Antonidas. He's a little slower than the rest of these cards. A lot of value, but we also have Conjurers to create extra cards, a Kabbalist Tome to create extra cards. So we have ways to create cards, but I think we need card draw. So Azure Drake comes to mind to help us continue drawing off Arcane Intellect into Azure Drake, just to make sure we don't run out of cards too soon. It's a very mid-rangey style deck right now. Very mid-rangey deck. What other cards? Emperor Thaurissan feels good in decks like this. It's a 6-drop, which we don't have right now. Yeah, I don't know. This deck's starting to come together. How many spells do we have for Yogg, right? We have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's more than enough, plus we have more coming off Conjurers and Kabbalist Tomes. Conjurers and Azure Drakes might get a little stuffy together, now that I think about it. I don't know that I love that. I don't think we need to double down on the 5 spot like that. So what else is... Whoa, didn't mean to click that. What else fits here? I do really want an Archmage, I'm not going to lie. Like, Antonidas feels like he'd be very good in this deck. Do we need more defensive mechanisms like heals or taunts? Perhaps. Perhaps we do. Some of this stuff is very passive. We throw it on a Conjurer, your opponent can kind of just ignore it and go face. So what options do we have there? We have early removal, late removal with Flame Strike. Oops, did not mean to click that. Sorry, my mouse is a little finicky sometimes. I don't think we have any really good taunts we want to run, right? Like nothing super taunty, but any other recovery type cards? Some early taunts, no. Heals, there's not much left. Cult Apothecary. I don't think so. I think we just want to win. I don't think we care about defending that hard. So 2 spots left. Do we have enough late game like value? We have the portals, we have Conjurers. I think another Kabbalist Tome is awfully slow, but I kind of like the idea of it. Is another Polymorph overkill though? It's hard to say what's in the meta right now because this is very early in Karazhan. I don't know what's going to be popular. Would it be more fun to just cut Kabbalist Tome and a Poly and just throw these guys back in? I think it's more fun, right? Like, yeah, we want the deck to be good, but we kind of want it to be fun as well. We want to go toe-to-toe with control decks, and that gives us a mechanism to do that. Yeah, let's do it. I like Ronin and Archmage Antonidas. By God, they're big legendaries, they're fun to play, they're cool characters from Warcraft lore. There's no reason to pass these guys up. And just, you know, it's going to be tough for us to keep up. If we draw these cards at the wrong times, we're going to be in trouble. There's a lot of late game here. But I still think it's going to be fun. This is a Firelands Tempo Mage. It's almost not accurate to call it a Tempo Mage. It's almost more accurate to call it like a Grinder Mage or a, I don't know, just a mid-range Mage. It's less about tempo at this point, right? It's more about sort of mid-range value. The Firelands mid-range Mage, it's almost a control deck too, honestly. There's so much late game. You could almost call it a control Mage with the polymorph, the flame strikes. It's hard to label decks sometimes, right? But maybe we'll just call it the Firelands Control Mage. I like that idea. It is about control. We want to control the early board. We want to thrive with late game value. We'll just call it the Firelands Control Mage. It's not exactly what I'd anticipated the deck being when we started out. Thought it was going to basically be a Tempo Mage with a few extra late game cards, a couple Fireland Portals, and a Yogg. But no, it's actually more of a Control Mage deck. It's just not an archetype we see a lot. It's usually Freeze Mage is the sort of control style Mage deck. Wants to control everything, play the late game. Unleash a big combo turn. This is a very different sort of deck. But I like it. I want to see what this deck does. So let's go ahead and take the Firelands Control Mage out onto the ranked ladder and see if we can't make Firelands Portal a card that works in Constructed. I'm very curious to see how it performs. I think it's mostly going to come down to the quality of the 5-drops that it summons. We know that doing 5 damage is going to be good most of the time. A lot of stuff has 5 health. It's just whether or not the 5-drops are enough, if they're good enough. I like the idea, though, of bundling a minion and a damage spell into a single card. It makes every card count for more. Instead of a fireball and a 3-drop, you get almost a fireball and a 5-drop, which is nice. So against Paladin, I suspect we're going to need a lot of early game. Flame Strikes will be good later, but we want to make sure we don't fall behind all these sneaky little guys with Divine Shields and stuff. So Frostbolt, Forgotten Torch makes sense to kill, like the Spirit of Darkshire. It could also be like a Murloc Paladin, which could give us a lot more trouble if he draws the Murlocs on time, and the anything can happen on time, just because we're not gonna be able to shut that down. We don't have the taunts or the heals to survive through that stuff. We're going to have to kill him first, which we do have actually a lot of damage in hand right now, so that might be a possibility. Good Thorzen turn. Can kind of just unleash. Oh, so it is definitely a Murloc Paladin. We'll use the torch on this both for mana considerations and because I want to load up the deck with those Roaring Torches. So we need to win this game. We need to kill him. It's easier said than done, I'm afraid. I'm going to go here and try to get a big Thorson turn off next turn with at least 3 damage spells in hand that are worth 12 damage. It's not going to buff my Mana Worm, but if things change, this might get buffed to matter. He might also just want to kill it because he thinks it's a threat. I can kill that, but it doesn't feel good. I guess we'll just Kabbalist Tome instead. Use this turn. How much? We're going to have too many cards, though, aren't we? We have 8. If I play this, I'm going to go down to 7. This will put me at 10 cards. So I may just have to burn the coin to not overdraw. Let's see what we get. Iceblock's actually really good against this. Yeah, I mean, we're burning the coin, but it's actually worth a damage, so it's not the biggest waste ever. It's intriguing. So yeah, we have 9 cards in hand. But we need to win this game fast. I mean, the Thorison's going to be huge, but we got to win before his Murlocs go off. So
Mind if I roll need?
I don't really care about those so much. He's just drawing into his deck here. This is one of the biggest Thorisons I've ever seen as far as number of cards discounted. It's basically the max. I wish we could have also played a Mirror Image to perhaps protect it. So he'll be able to kill it now. So he's already got most of the Murloc pieces he needs to win the game. I wish we had a way to keep this alive or steal it or ruin it somehow. I don't think we do. Polymorph actually would pull that off. But I don't think we can try for the polymorph. We can Firelands Portal this. Mirror Image to stall, or maybe just Arcane Blast. Could look for a big Flamewaker turn. Flamewaker, Arcane Blast, Mirror Image, Ice Block. Yeah, let's try that. Let's make that work instead. Gonna start here. I think it maximizes my chances that it kills everything I want it to kill. We can just go ahead and ping. It doesn't matter. We're not going to use that mana on anything else, so. So he has heals, but he may not feel compelled to heal yet. But the cool thing is we actually have 12 damage plus 6 is 18, 20 damage next turn. 21 damage next turn. Like, we could almost kill him. Man, do we have if we had another spell? This is also face damage, right? That's the cool thing about Firelands Portal. Like, it's actually face damage. He's just gonna clear, which sucks. He's already got all the Murlocs he needs to win the game, so we have to think about winning. I think I'm gonna Firelands Portal ping, but Firelands Portal the face. I'll take it. So he's still not to his 10 mana turn yet. He's at 18. We have 12 in hand. This is 4, 16, 17. He'll definitely have heals, and he'll probably use them this turn because he's already thinking about dying. I really did not expect that to come out, I'm going to be honest with you. We have a polymorph, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it. It sucks. We can ping Fireball. That's a lot of our damage gone. If we ping Fireball, that's 5 mana. We can play the Conjurer, I guess, for 4. And hope we get a polymorph out of this. No polymorph. And these aren't really very good either. Man. Spellbender, is that relevant at all? Ever? What does Spellbender do for me? Haldor Peacekeeper, Humility. It doesn't work on Haldor Peacekeeper. I'm just running through the kinds of things that he might do. Humility, it would help maybe, but not likely. I think Arcane Blast is probably just the most consistent of these. So I'm wasting 6 damage on the Tyrion, but I am getting 4 damage to the face via this guy. So he can Murloc this turn, but he might just be dead if he does. So he might have to think about a heal. He might Ivory Knight. So we have 6. This is actually another 5, so 11. We have the mana for that too. 17. Theoretically 21 damage if everything lives. Oh, Peacekeeper does have that, so we're right about that. I think he's just dead. I think he's just dead to our hand unless he heals. Yeah, I think he's just dead. 5, 8, 11, 12. Oh, he's not dead. Shoot. Are we one-off lethal, really? 5, 8, 11, 12. Oh my god. I think we're one-off lethal, guys. This could give me lethal, like Fireball. I'll try this first. It's really annoying. Pyroblast, Blizzard, Frost Nova. Frost Nova is really good if he summons the Murlocs, because he won't be able to kill them off to resummon. Blizzard does the same thing, but it kills the... might kill them. So I'm going to grab... and it's more expensive, so I'm going to grab the Frost Nova. Gonna kill one of these. Gonna ping face. Actually, I can just kill them both, I guess, can't I? It's totally fine. Alright, so he's gonna try to kill this without dying. We still don't have a ton of damage, but the Frost Nova kills the Murlocs for a turn. Stalls out the Murlocs. Doomsayer, Forbidden Healing. So he healed a ton. That sucks. How much damage is that? 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. I can Firelands Portal this, trade, ping, get a minion. I don't need this as damage now that I have the fireball as much, right? So let's see what we get. That actually is one of the worst 5-drops, I guess. I didn't have to kill that, by the way, but I kind of wanted to develop some damage. That's good. This is 12 damage. Oof. God, so many dudes. We missed our turn that one turn when we were one off. Like, I think that might have been our turn to win. Cult Sorcerer doesn't really help much. I think I'll just play Ronin and ping Rag. He can trade if he wants. If he doesn't, Rag might heal himself. I can ping again. Might get a lot of dudes here for some big Cult Sorcerer turns. Oh, that's going to waste his heal. It's absolutely going to waste his heal. He only has 3 damage taken right now. We have a Roaring Torch coming, and these discounts mean we can actually Roaring Torch and Fireball and Double Frost Bolt. So that'd be 12, 15, 18 damage in a single turn. Oh, he took a secret. Get it? Cool. I like it. I'd like to know what secret it is. Probably Noble Sacrifice, given that he traded that way. I guess we can polymorph the Rag. I don't think we need to polymorph anything else. We could polymorph a Murloc War Leader, but we already killed them both, right? So it won't help, because we have the Frost Nova for that anyway. This is gonna get Noble Sacked anyway, so we'll just go ahead and do whatever. Oh, it did not get Noble Sacked. An eye for an eye? It's not Avenge, obviously. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that secret is. What's left? Repentance, I guess, maybe? Repentance. Not Redemption. So there's the Murlocs. That's 12 damage. We can freeze these out and go... oh my god, how much damage do we have? It's 12, 15, 18 plus 7. It's 25. Can freeze. Develop the Cult Sorcerer. That's 5. I can Fireball. Or actually, I'll just Roaring Torch ping. I guess in case this is, just in case this is eye for an eye, I need to Roaring Torch, or no, I need to ping first, right? We have, we're gonna play 5, yeah, let's ping first. It was, cool, right play there. So we're gonna Roaring Torch. Oh no, we're gonna Cult Sorcerer first. We're gonna Roaring Torch. And we're gonna Frost Nova. Alright. We have 15 in hand. He's at 15. Forbidden Healing's gonna suck. There are some things that suck. Equality what? Consecration. So we don't have 15 in hand anymore. Oh, we actually might with the arcane missiles, right? If these hit well. I don't have time. Oh, I do have time for this. Because we have Ice Block. Well, hold up. Let's just count, right? This is 6, 9, 12, 13. That's 6 mana. This is 8 mana. So we would need 2 Arcane Missiles to hit his face. It's very likely going to kill him. But if I play Antonidas and I hit... I don't know. This is susceptible to Forbidden Healing, right? Like, we have the Ice Block, so why don't we just burn? Let's just burn. Let's just go for it. We'll cast 2 of these. Oh, cool. He just thinks he's dead. He's actually not guaranteed to be dead, though. I'm very curious what would have happened with those arcane missiles, but I guess he didn't have the heal, so he must have anticipated or at least deduced that that was Ice Block at some point. I don't remember what he'd seen yet, but hey, that's a cool win. That's a tough deck to beat for us, I think. The Ice Block draw was pretty clutch. The Frost Nova draw was pretty clutch. So, but that's kind of what this deck is designed to do, right? It generates your resources that you didn't include in your deck. And the Firelands Portals were both pretty good. I mean, not the best minions out of them, I guess, but the damage seemed relevant. It almost gave us lethal at one point, I think. Hopefully we didn't miscount, but they seemed like they were solid. A lot of value packed into them. I don't remember what the other 5-drop we got was, but I remember it being okay. So here we definitely need some more early game. The Cult Sorcerer's okay. Arcane Blast, Cult Sorcerer's really good together. Can kill a Misha or something if we need to. Flamewaker's also good with Arcane Blast, so this is not the worst hand, but I'm still nervous because Hunter can get off to really fast starts. A good Cloaked Huntress can really hurt too. We'll just ping that. I'm pretty glad he played that because I don't really have a good turn 2 anyway. This is a better turn 3. He could coin the Animal Companion here. That might be nice for this combo. King's Elec is sort of tough to deal with. Kodo, so definitely mid-rangey. This, we need to watch this with Kodo, right? That's a potential risk. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Not that I need the spell damage, but I do want to develop the minion, and I do want to kill the Elec, so this is a little bit of overkill, but just coincidental. And the main reason, by the way, I did that is because I got the 4-drop, so I know I'm going to have a minion to play next turn. The Flamewaker Arcane Blast might have been a more intriguing 4-mana play if I didn't have the 4-drop, but since I do, and actually played a weapon, so it works out even better. We had the good curve here, so I felt okay using that resource, basically. Not optimally, but still in a reasonable fashion. That's not a bad play at all for me. I don't mind him using direct damage there to deal with that. I'm just going to go ahead and ping and develop the Flamewaker. I didn't want the Flamewaker to take damage because that makes it susceptible to stuff like Quick Shot, so I wanted to kill the Firebat first. This is going to be tough for him to kill. Oh my god. We knew that was a possibility, but he didn't win it off the Joust, right? So I figured first 8 cards, it's not as likely. We can Fireball, we can also just Conjurer, but the Conjurer is susceptible to Quick Shots. So I think we'll just go ahead and kill this to keep the Beast off. And ping face. Yeah, so we knew that one Kodo was in his deck, right? Whatever, we got the other Flamewaker. Well, we don't even actually know for sure that he runs 2 Kodos. I definitely think this is like a Cloaked Huntress deck. I think I'll just Portal that. Might be a... Oh, it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Just a big body. That's gross, as always. Firelands Portal is going to be good here again, though, I think. Yeah, I think we'll just do it. Feels alright. That's not that great. It thankfully actually lines up okay against this minion. Yeah, Kill Command would have killed almost anything on 5 mana, so maybe not the worst outcome. I can try for this and ping if it fails. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Snipe, though. It's a problem. We don't know what that secret is yet. But Snipe kind of ruins everything in my hands, and I can still kill the Leok either way. I don't actually have to do this, I guess, right? I could Polymorph Forgotten Torch ping. But Polymorph's really good against Savannah Highmane, and this is not that threatening at 24 health, so I'm just trying to set up the trade. Flamewaker pings this once, and it sets up a good trade for me, maybe, so... there's also some logic to hold on to this for a bigger turn. So maybe that makes sense. Could just, like, Conjurer. No, I can't. I don't have enough mana. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. Let's just hope it doesn't get sniped. So I guess I'll ping this just in case. It's very likely to be wasted, but if this gets more activations next turn, it could matter. And I don't want to attack with this till I have to, just in case that's freezing trap. We don't know what trap that is yet, so we haven't had a chance for a minion to attack. He's gonna kill it. That's fine. Oh, so glad we saved the polymorph for sure now. That feels like a really, really strong decision. What do? I guess I Conjurer into polymorph, right? The Conjurer doesn't actually die to his board, so that's kind of intriguing. If we get a polymorph out of this, we could really tilt him. Arcane Explosion. I think... man, I don't know. This is tough. I guess maybe I'll take the Dragon's Breath just because it's damage. There's a chance we'll kill multiple minions in a future turn. Card draw is fine, but we also have the Kabbalist Tome. I guess we'll take the draw, because we might draw into something better than what Kabbalist Tome would give us. So we're in a pretty good spot, 24 health. He can kill this guy with the 3 things on board, obviously, but not much we can do about that. It's got a secret again. I think that's got to be, like, not Freezing Trap, or he wouldn't keep attacking these things. But what's the new one is the question. Let's draw and then Thorison to get max reductions here. Might be Snipe again? I don't know. Bear Trap? Not really sure what he's got up there. This one's not Freezing Trap, I think. Well, neither one can be Freezing Trap, or he wouldn't continue to trade like that. He would have wanted those things Freezing Trapped, I feel like. We'll Frostbolt and finally attack face to get a picture of what this secret might be. If it's Bear Trap, does that change my play any? Maybe. Let's just attack face first and see what's up. So that's the Freezing Trap finally. Okay. I'm still surprised he wanted those activated. So we'll just play dudes and clear that. We could just Thorison again, I guess. I was going to play the Water Ellie, but there's really no reason to, is there? Since we have the very cheap Frostbolt. We're going to have a super cheap Fireball as well. So yeah, we're very far ahead. Call the Wild actually probably brings him into the game still, just because it's a lot of damage and board contesting. But what is this secret? My god, dude. Bear Trap. Is this Dark Trap? Have we not Fire Blasted yet? God, I don't know. I probably should have played the Mana Worm first now that I think about it, but it's fine. Let's see, this is 3/6 mana. Yeah, we'll just do this. It's fine. We lost 1 damage on the Mana Worm, but... actually lost 2 damage here, but we had to test the secret first, so I don't really mind. Sure, let's just put him on a clock with Fireball. We got the mana. Who cares? Probably didn't matter. The Thorison was going to reduce it to 0, so we could have done it next turn no matter what, but I don't know. Feeling spicy. I don't think that's going to be enough. That's good, but not enough. We have a bajillion different kinds of damage here. So, yeah, we can just win 7 different ways from Sunday here. Alright, so that was interesting. That was a challenge. We didn't fall too far behind in the early game, which I think is the biggest risk for this deck I've put together, right? It's losing the early game board. Plus, he had a pretty good play with that Kodo, but we were able to stabilize just fine, despite that. Priest. All right, this is gonna be exciting. I think we're probably good against Priest. We just have a lot of threats and nothing that like you want to entomb either. So we'll send all that junk back. That's all late game junk. We want early game junk. The whole deck's junk, but we want the early junk. Let's junk 30 cards deep. All right, not the worst hand, right? We can kill stuff with these. Just I don't know what this guy's gonna have, right? Priest of the Feast probably. Who knows what else, though. This looks like a ping turn. Living the priest life, pinging on 2. Pretty control-y hand. No aggression at all. No mana worm, no. So he's going to win this battle. if it goes this way the whole time, looks like he's in good shape. Water Lily is good on 4, but it is somewhat susceptible to Shadow Word Pain. Well, it's very susceptible to Shadow Word Pain, but it's somewhat susceptible because he may not have Shadow Word Pain. So we'll see. We still got to play it, right? The Shadow Word Pain comes eventually. Probably rather Shadow Word Pain the Water Lily than the Flamebreaker. So. Alternatively, we might just Frostbolt that. I don't have an urgency to send out a minion to die. Yeah, let's Mana Worm Frostbolt, right? We'll test for the Shadow Word Pain here. And we can Conjure next turn. He can Death that, right? But we have other stuff that's very valuable to Death. Ronin and Antonidas and so on, so. We'll definitely want to save a lot of our burst to kill him at some point. Cool. So we did test it out. Nice. So this will probably stick in the future. He's got another pain, so I want to play this sooner rather than later, but the Conjure is still better just because it's on curve. I think we'll take the Torch. Just more damage. Put more torches in our deck. We gotta kill this guy eventually. Shadow Word Death? No, Frostbolt. Oh. Cool. Solar Frostbolt. What a jerk. So yeah, we'll just play this in ping. We could... Thorison... It's not bad, right? It's not super good either, though. Maybe we wait for a bigger Thorison in the future. Let's just Arcane Intellect. We're not in a rush right now. Right? Not in a rush. I think I want more damage cost reduced than just these two. If I do Arcane Intellect, I won't be able to Water Ellie, but that's okay. I might just Forgotten Torch face. It's probably going to get healed out, but... Actually, if I cost reduce Fireballs at 3, these are 2, that would be a total of 10 mana for 12 plus 6, 18 damage. That wouldn't be bad, even though these aren't the Roaring Torches. It's still a lot of stuff that's cheap. It's 18 damage from hand in a single turn. Yeah, let's just ping. Let's see what we can do with Thorison next turn. It's 3, 6, 8, 10 when these are reduced. It's a pretty good burn. Alternatively, I probably just have to Forgotten Torch that. No, never mind. Firelands Portal is better. Super cool, actually. It's perfect. Oh, sick. Cool. And that's probably going to die very easily to, like, Holy Nova or Excavated Evil. But it's still, I mean, it's damage. Oh, Shadow Word Death on it's not bad, because I have a lot of death targets. I have a lot of death targets, actually, so... Yeah, let's go ahead and reduce these guys. We could Portal again. Just Portal face. Is that better, maybe? Nah, I think we'll just reduce these guys. Ping face. He just used the death, so he may have to, like, entomb this. If he entombs this, he's not entombing Ronin or Archmage Antonidas, which is nice. I think I called that. I don't know. Did I call that or not, guys? Did you guys see me call that? I think I called that. We'll play both of these. They both get pained, so one is likely to stick. He's healing 4 per turn, so we do need to stick some minions to do damage eventually, right? Like, we're never going to out-ping the guy. Thoughtsteal's scary. We have a lot of good minions still in the deck. Oh god, that's so scary. Well, one is not Antonidas, or he couldn't be playing it. That's a good sign. Fireball, probably. No, we have both Fireballs in hand, so it's not that. Roaring Torch. No, not Roaring Torch either. What could that be? Not Firelands Portal either. He's setting up a Soul Priest clear, I guess? No. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and Firelands Portal that, though. Oh, sick. Wow. Wow, that's cool. Like, we don't need the heal, but God, that's like a card that anytime you get that, that's game changing. Honestly, that's cool. It's good against Priest too because it's 4 attack. It's gonna have trouble killing this a bit. I don't know why he just wanted to chip this down for Holy Nova. I don't know. I don't know what that was about yet. All right, that's good. That's one bad Thoughtsteel card. We need the other one to have been bad as well. Flamewaker, Forgotten Torch clears that, heals me a little, does 7 to face. I lose some of my Fireball burst potential, I guess, but we do put that Roaring Torch back in the deck, so. We could Ronin too, just Ronin trade. Ping. He has Entombed. If he entombs Ronin, I guess I'm not that sad about it because it's not Antonidas, right? But I definitely do want the missiles out of this. So it would make me a little sad. I guess I'll just Ronin Forgotten Torch. I actually want minions around. I need minions to stick to do consistent damage from hand. I guess I could have Arcane Blast as well, pinged, but that's alright. The Arcane Blast might be better later on with the Flamewaker. And I do want a Roaring Torch in the deck. We might just be able to kill him next turn, right? We have 12, 15. Plus Ronin. So he did entomb the Ronin. It's sort of sad, but he can't entomb Antonidas now. As long as he himself doesn't have my Antonidas, I think we're okay. How much damage is this? 7, 14? Plus 4 is 18? Plus 4 is 22, 25. Is that lethal? It's 2 mana, 5 mana, 8 mana, 10 mana. And that's 7 damage, 14 damage. 4 damage is 18 damage plus 4. It's 22. I think that's just lethal, right? Ah, cards. Stop. We also healed for a time, so well played. Cool. I'll take it, man. The surprise, that surprise lethal, huh? Spell damage lethal for the win. Okay, so I actually think that's going to wrap it up for me in the Firelands Control Mage. So far, pretty cool deck. We beat a variety of different archetypes. We beat a hunter, we beat a priest, we beat a class I can't even remember now. I don't even remember what we beat in the first game, but 3 good wins from this deck. And Firelands Portal seemed to do some work. Like, it just always lined up really nicely. We were able to kill good stuff with it and summon decent minions that... Oh, we beat a paladin, that's what we beat. But decent minions. We went toe-to-toe with control decks. We went toe-to-toe with kind of a mid-rangey, almost aggro hunter there. I still think it's susceptible to hyper-aggro if you don't get the right cards at the right time. But, you know, with Forgotten Torches and Water Ellies and Flamewakers and Frostbolts, you can still beat those decks and definitely win out in the mid-slate game. So... we didn't get to see Yogg or anything, didn't really get Antonidas, but Firelands Portal did a ton of work. I think this card has legs and constructed too. Maybe this isn't the exact right deck, but it's a start. The deck did fine. Successful experiment for sure. Excuse me, Decksperiment. A successful Decksperiment as far as I'm concerned. I don't even think I'd change that much in this list. Certainly you could try for a Reno-style Control Mage too, but this is a fun little control tempo mage, if you will. I think we're just going to go ahead and call it the Firelands Control Mage, though that's a fine name. All that said, if you have any comments or thoughts about this deck, you know where to leave them. Appreciate all your time. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, game on.